This series is all about making sure you know your rights so you can prevent any confusion, avoid family disputes, and ensure that final wishes are respected. Knowledge is power, and let's make sure your family isn't left scrambling during such a sensitive time. This video is about the right of disposition in Wyoming. In Wyoming, the right of disposition refers to the legal authority to make decisions about how a deceased person's body is handled, including burial, cremation, and memorial services. If you don't specify who should have the authority to make these decisions, Wyoming Statute 2-17-101 allows the right to devolve to your next of kin. This means that the legal responsibility for making these decisions falls to family members in a specific order. And now that we understand what the right of disposition means in Wyoming, let's take a closer look at the family hierarchy and how the right is passed on in case there isn't a designated person. Here's the hierarchy for decision making in Wyoming. First, you have the spouse. The surviving spouse has the first right to make disposition decisions. Secondly, you have adult children. If there's no surviving spouse, the adult children step in. Third, you have parents if no spouse or children. The deceased parents are next in line. Fourth, you have siblings. If there's no spouse, children, or parents, siblings can make the decisions. While this hierarchy is clear, issues can arise when the next of kin are equally positioned, such as multiple adult children or both parents. Now let's talk about how Wyoming handles this situation to avoid any confusion. Wyoming law allows for situations where the next of kin are equal. For example, both parents or all adult children or siblings. In this case, only one person's approval is needed to authorize the disposition decisions. This can cause confusion or conflict in families with multiple people in the same category. So appointing a person in advance can really help prevent family disputes. And now that we've covered the hierarchy and the issue of equal of next to kin, let's talk about how pre-need arrangements and written directives can guide your wishes and prevent potential conflict down the line. In Wyoming, individuals can specify their wishes for the disposition of their body through pre-need arrangements, such as a formal directive or will. These instructions are generally respected as long as they don't conflict with the rights of the designated person in the family hierarchy. Having these arrangements in place is crucial, but what happens if no one steps forward to claim the body? Let's explore Wyoming's laws regarding claiming a body before the state takes control. Wyoming law also requires that a body be claimed within a certain time frame to avoid the state assuming control. If no one comes forward within a reasonable amount of time, usually 72 hours after death, the body may be taken into the state's custody. That's why it's essential to have someone designated so your wishes aren't left up to chance. But what if a family dispute arises? Can the court step in to resolve things? Let's look at how Wyoming handles disputes over disposition decisions. Wyoming law also requires that a body be claimed within a certain time frame to avoid the state assuming control. If no one comes forward within a reasonable amount of time, usually 72 hours after death, the body may be taken into the state's custody. That's why it's essential to have someone designated so your wishes aren't left up to chance. But what if a family dispute arises? Can the court step in to resolve things? Let's look at how Wyoming handles disputes over disposition decisions. If there's a dispute among family members regarding the right of disposition, Wyoming law allows a court to step in and resolve the issue. The court will take into account the deceased's written wishes, if any are available, and the family hierarchy that was previously stated, and make a decision based on what is in line with the deceased's final wishes. And so now that we understand how Wyoming deals with family disputes and claims over a body, let's wrap up with a few key takeaways to make sure you're prepared and your wishes are clear. Wyoming follows a priority system for who can make decisions about body disposition, starting with the spouse. If next of kin are equal, only one person's approval is required, which could lead to conflicts. So appointing a person in advance is crucial. Prearranged written directives can ensure your wishes are respected. A body must be claimed within 72 hours to avoid the states taking control. Disputes may be resolved by the court based on the deceased's wishes. Thank you for tuning in to today's segment on the right of disposition in Wyoming. Remember, having your end-of-life documents in order and designating someone to handle these important decisions can save your loved ones from unnecessary stress and confusion. Don't wait. Empower yourself and your family by making sure your wishes are known and respected. Stay tuned for the next part of this series, where we'll continue to explore your rights and provide the tools to ensure your final wishes are honored. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to spread the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Let's make sure your voice is heard when it matters the most. See you next time.